Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance that was released in 2006 that has gained quite some steam in terms of its visibility, its popularity. It's gotten great reviews all across the board, but let's see my take on it. Right onto it, it's Burberry London. This baby right here. This was, again, released back in 2006. This is the 1.7 size, if you can kind of take a look at the bottle here. The sticker is on the bottom. It has, whoops, there we go. It has the serial code number on the back. It's got some information about it, eau de toilette, and just some relevant information on it, so it's the real deal. The design of the bottle, it's a simple dark glass bottle that's surrounded in, this is actually, it feels like cloth basically, so flannel cloth that kind of surrounds it and maintains, gives it that little unique edge. I'm not too much of a fan of the bottle, but that's what they've come up with, and really, it's okay. It is original. So the 1.7 you can actually purchase for anywhere between $30 and $40. The 3.4 is generally between $35, $45. You can really get deals on this fragrance. Despite being so popular, it still is relatively, or can be bought relatively cheap. So just keep those prices in mind. Anything you pay over, you're really overpaying for it. Buy it online, and that includes cost of shipping, those prices that I've actually just mentioned. So it can really be found cheaply. Now, onto the actual notes for the fragrance. The notes consist of, for top notes, bergamot, lavender, cinnamon leaves, and black pepper, while the mid notes consist of mimosa flower, port wine, leather notes, and the base notes consist of guaiac wood, oak moss, opoponex, and tobacco leaf. So all that combined, mixed up, produces a scent which to me is very linear in terms of, you spray it the first time, and that's pretty much what you're going to get through the whole duration of the fragrance. So the fragrance remains pretty linear in that aspect. But what you're going to get, this was remarked by one of the reviewers, Tim, as fall in a bottle, and I really agree. This is fall in a bottle. It smells like leaves, damp leaves. It's spicy. It's boozy. The smell really reminds me of leaves sprinkled with a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of booze, a little bit of tobacco for that matter. So it's kind of nice and mushed up. It's a very close smell, in my opinion. It's a very close smell that, despite that type of closeness, you can really use it for any occasion, but I really think that it's really meant to be a type of close scent. Not really a romantic scent, but a close scent that does well in those types of settings and occasions. In the fall, I think you can get away with wearing this outside, around, and in the winter, I think it's more suited to indoor times. Either way, it's all of the notes really mix well with it. You can get a little bit of the guaiac wood, you can get a little bit of the tobacco leaf, the oak moss, the opoponex. The only scent I think of the notes that I actually listed that I don't really catch is the bergamot. Bergamot is by far probably my favorite citrus scent that's out there, and I just don't get the bergamot from it. I get the pepper, I get the cinnamon leaves, port wine, I get the leather notes, I get everything out of it except for the bergamot. So all of that is kind of mixed in, again, to give that fall or that leaves scent, that fallen leaves, that yummy, delicious, not a true gourmand, but more kind of like a gourmand sprinkled onto a woods type scent. So it's really unique, very nice. I would definitely say give this fragrance a try before you go on. Now, in terms of versatility, this fragrance, as I said, it's very versatile, but to me, it's very close, meant for close occasions, and then despite that. So even though it is, yes, versatile, still meant for closer occasions, if you will. You can get away with it in winter again, and that may be the ideal time, but I actually prefer this for fall because really it reminds me of fall in a bottle. Now, for longevity, I usually spray both shoulder pits right here, and I'll catch the wrists, and that's usually good for me for the entire day. Now with the shoulder pits, it'll usually last me anywhere from 5 to 8, 9 hours. So longevity, I've heard, can be spotty on some people. I think it really depends on where you're spraying it on your skin. But again, getting a shoulder pit should really last you for the entire day. Now, in terms of what season do I see this and what age group? For the age group, I honestly see anyone pulling this one off. I think you don't have to be older, you don't have to be younger. Really, anyone can pull this off as long as you're wearing it for that correct occasion or that correct month. As far as season goes, I think it's a fall, winter fragrance. Fall wearable both inside, outside, and winter, I think you kind of want to stick indoors with this fragrance. Just because it's not really a blast, it's not really sharp or anything like that, and it may, in the winter and fall, actually for that matter, it may come off like you're not really wearing anything. In fact, it smells so much like fall, I think that people might think that what they're smelling is leaves, trees, and everything like that, depending where you are. As far as compliments and everything like that goes, I didn't really get that many compliments wearing this fragrance. In fact, I've gotten like maybe 1 or 2 during the year that I've been really extensively testing this one. People actually, and I asked them for comments on it, and they said, yeah, you smell good, but it's nothing that they would, jump the gun and go ahead and buy it, or really, really dive into it. So, and that's kind of the impression that I got. One thing with this fragrance is you don't want to over apply it. It's a type that actually makes me sick if I over apply it. So you just want to be careful on the trigger in terms of how many sprays that you actually go with. Don't try and boost the longevity or boost the power or the projection of it by going balls out pretty much and just spraying like crazy. So avoid that and you'll be fine. Now, 1 out of 10. 5 being the average, 10 being the best, 1 being, a terrible fragrance. I've got to give this one a 4, and that's just slightly below average. Again, even though this is fall in a bottle, and I do wear this is in my fall top 10 starting lineup. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's one of the top 10 fragrances. It just happens to be one of the top 10 that I wear for fall. I enjoy it a little bit, but again, as far as a fragrance goes, it doesn't really slam me down or really wow me that much. It is fall in a bottle though, and it really epitomizes of what fall should or is meant to be. It just doesn't really floor me in that matter. So I give it a 4. Maybe a 5 on that. But yeah, 5 out of 10. Still, it's not a terrible fragrance. I just don't think it's that much of a great fragrance. Now, base notes and other reviewers say otherwise. This gets overwhelmingly, like well over 95% of people absolutely love this fragrance, and for good reason. But again, just not my cup of tea. So in my book, this gets a 5. Average score. And that about concludes it. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free, leave me a comment, drop me a note, do whatever you can, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you, and take care of yourselves.